Good morning and happy Monday, everybody. Who Dat Nation, happy Victory Monday. I'm so excited about that game. Chris is going to tell us more about that. Plus, apparently there is a LeBron lookalike that we have to get to. And I need you guys to make sure you stick around until what we not going to do, because there is a high school tradition that I don't have any kind of understanding for. We're going to talk about that. But first, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. And now here's the Fumble Squad on this Who Dat Victory Monday. I'm your girl, Jackie Ray. You can follow me on all things social media at JRay the Fanatic.
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K, and it's a so victory Monday because it's exciting. We beat the Bucks, but at what cost?
It was a fight, and yes, what cost is, and we're going to talk about that a little bit in the post up. So I don't want to get into it too much now, but to my neighbors, to my sides and above me, I am so sorry I lost my entire mind last night. But it was worth it. It was worth it. So how was your weekend? How was it? How was your Halloween with the little ones?
Well, the Knicks set the weekend off right, so I was happy about that. And then Halloween was amazing. The little man was not very pleased with it. He hated the his little beanie, but he was Stitch. I think I mentioned it on Friday. But oh gosh, we got to put a wig. Anaya, she got her first wig on. Man, was she feeling herself. Her hair was dangling. She was Lilo, and she was feeling herself. So she had a great time. But it was fun. I didn't do too much. It was all about them. I've never been crazy about Halloween, but I know you Miss Wednesday Addams. How was you feeling on your Halloween?
I had a good time. I went to karaoke. It was struggle karaoke though. It was one of those things. I usually go to karaoke here in Culver City. Well, I'm in downtown LA, but in Culver City, and everyone there can kind of sing, so it's dope. It's kind of like this little fun competition.
Yeah.
But I went to one in Long Beach where no one could sing, so I was like, I don't want to get up there and sing.
Yeah, you in Long Beach.
The hell? I share care. Like, I didn't want to do it, because your girl could sing a little bit. So I was like, let me close it out. So I kept saying to the KJ, I was like, I'll sing the last song of the night.
Let me do last, right?
And so when I sung the last song, she's like, oh, okay.
What was it? Fun. What was the song?
It wasn't a very diverse crowd, so I sung a song that they could relate to, and I sung Journey, Don't Stop Believing. So,
cater to the crowd. Got you. Yeah.
Going to what do we always say? Read the room.
Yeah, you got to. You got it. Yep, that's the right move. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Let's get into our first need to know news, because like Chris said, there was a Knicks game on Saturday that went very well for the Knicks. But of course, to start things off, Zion was news once again. He was out there doing some warm-ups before the game that had everybody talking once again about his weight. So let's take a look at this video right now and see how we feel about this. Take a look.
Of course, he underwent foot surgery this summer. You see him warming up here before the game, but there really is no update. The latest, Pelicans VP of Basketball Operations, David Griffin, did say earlier this.
So if you heard what she said, there's a lot going on in this. Number one, he is, I think, wearing layers. I'm going to say he's wearing layers, and he's already big, so that's adding to it. If he was my uncle, you know what I mean, and I saw him on the floor, I'd be like, okay, get it, Unc. But because he's not just my uncle, and he is Zion, this is a little heavy for me.
So bad. Because I get what you're saying. Like, that's a great point. Like,
you're not helping my attempts to not throw shade.
Sorry. That's just so good. It's such a good comparison. I'm sorry.
Right. If he was my uncle, I'd be like, okay, look at Uncle out there getting it, doing some drills and stuff. That's cool, but not for Zion. It's just not cool for me for Zion. It's just a little heavy for me.
Oh man, I was already.
Like she said, there's been no updates on his foot injury. I personally think one of the reasons we're not getting an update on that is because the last thing you want to do is put a heavy Zion on the court after a foot surgery. That's just an accident waiting to happen, in my opinion. I think that's why we're not getting any updates from that. And I do think Zion needs to be basketball ready. If you have to lose some weight by the time they clear you to play, now that's more time. So I don't really know. I know people don't like the body shaming thing, but I'm saying body shaming is one thing when you out here in the regular world, but when you are an athlete, there is a certain expectation that you're going to maintain your physique. So Chris, just looking at him on the court, I know you saw a piece of it. What did you think about him on the court?
You mean that little clip right there? Yeah. I can't get your analogy because that's true. Because if you see Uncle out there, that's exactly how he be moving. Where it looked like one of his knees are bumped, so he's like he's trying to go to the best of his ability. So for Uncle, that's good, but for a 21-year-old superstar to be, that's not the greatest thing that you want to see. And definitely, seeing the photos, because him and RJ are close, so there was a lot of video and B-roll of him and RJ getting along right before the game. So I'm seeing that stuff, and yeah, he looked big, but I'm like, all right, at least he's in good spirits. He was smiling, happy. But then they showed that video, and I was like, oh no. But what I will say, and you can call me soft, call me what you want, but I feel like I'm going to take a new stance when it comes to Zion Williamson. I just putting it all together and realizing the injury, I'm going to take a new stance on Zion Williamson. My stance is this. I believe that he is trying to go with the diet and all the other stuff that he said he was going with. I know, Chris, what are you talking about? But hear me out. I do believe that he is doing that, but the fact that he has a foot injury, a leg injury, being that he has the metabolism that he has, I'm going to leave it at that, and that's how I'm going to word that. I think with his lack of being able to do a lot of workouts and a lot of cardio and stuff like that because of the foot injury that he's dealing with, I think that has a lot to do with why he's putting on so much weight and it's harder for him to keep it down. He probably should be eating better still, but I'm going to put that as the reasoning for this, because to put on that much weight so drastically from the end of last season to where we are right now, there has to be some missing piece. So I'm going to take this new stance, and Zion, I'm putting my chips on the table for you, bro. And I'm going to say that it has a lot to do with his lack of being able to do cardio, because you're seeing him out there. I don't think that's a weight thing. I think this is one of his first times being able to do movements from side to side with the coming back from the foot injury. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to step back, because I was looking at it. I saw pictures, and I saw the gumbo jokes and stuff like that. I was like, haha. I was like, you know what? All right, let me look at this from a different angle, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So when he comes back, and I want to see how he trims out through the remainder of the season, going into next season, I want to be known this is my stance. If I'm wrong, I'll take the L's. But I think it has a lot to do with the lack of being able to do any kind of cardio workout. When you got a foot injury, that's just how it is. I mean, he just doesn't have the metabolism of a Klay Thompson, where he had foot injuries, but he obviously isn't putting on weight like that. He's Zion Williamson. He's built a little bit differently. So that's the stance I'm going to take on this one. So I'm going to step back, and I'm going to see what happens when he comes back. That's why I'm going to go with it for now, Zion. I mean, for now.
And I like that, because I really want Zion to succeed, but I also know that there's low to no impact exercises he could be doing to help. He could be working out in the pool. The pool is a total body workout, and there's like zero impact.
That's true.
So the fact that he's not taking any initiative to do anything to maintain his weight is a red flag to me. So Twitter was with me. They were way more disrespectful than me, but
Twitter was bad. Oh my god!
And I picked the nice ones, y'all. So this one says Zion looks like he's ready to play offensive line for the Saints instead of playing basketball. I mean, okay, let's go on to this next one. This one, I was like, oh god, Zion learning from the best. And see, here's the thing, though. James Harden slimmed down in like 2 weeks.
Right.
We know that Zion can't do that. So while I appreciate this analogy, I wish he was like James Harden, but he is not. Then this next one is what I was like, okay, I don't know if I feel this way. He says, fat or not, still going to drop 30 and 9 on your favorite team, won't bow down. I'm like, okay, that won't bow down, though, is not the issue. It's the fall down. Because if he falls down again because he's so big, are we looking at another injury? I'm not even trying to be funny, but we know that the bigger you are, and this is when you get older, we see this, bigger people, when it's just harder to bounce back from your injury. So then I think I have one more. And the reason I put this in there is because this is what I said. I remember when I said that, I said, he's starting to look like Big Baby Davis to me. I don't like it. Same vibe. So I'm just surprised at this point that usually when we talk about athletes, when it's this much hate going around about one specific thing, they use that as their fuel to just be like, okay, let me prove you wrong. And the fact that we've been talking about his weight so much and there's still no change, I don't know. That really bothers me about Zion.
And that's why, and that exact point is the reason why I'm taking this stance. And I understand, I see people, there's weights, there's swimming, and you're right, but different people work out different ways. There's some people, look at Kevin Durant, he's a dude that he eventually was putting on weight as his career went on, and he could have gone to the gym too. He could have put on weight and hit the weights and stuff like that, but he refused to because he's not a fan of that. That's just not how he works, and he was the opposite direction of Zion Williamson. And we don't know. Zion might be the same way. He's like, I can't swim, or I don't want to swim. I don't like swimming. That's not my way of work. His way of work might be running. He might do hills and stuff like that. We don't know what the case may be for him. So because of what you just said, Jackie, is why I'm taking that stance. That's why I said this is my final, like, I'm putting the chips on the table for Zion Williamson, because I've never been big on betting and believing in Zion. That was your guy, you know what I mean? But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he has been that for at least his basketball career up until this point, where he has been a prove them wrong kind of guy. They said he was only a dunker and that's all he could do, and he can only do it against small little white kids at his local town. And he went from the 5th or 6th overall pick in the draft to the 1st overall pick after playing a tremendous season with Duke. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to believe that he just, the foot was holding him from doing certain workouts, and we'll see how he comes back from the injury. Now, like I said, Zion, if I'm the wrong one here and I take this L, that's all you're getting out of me. But I think that he does have that mentality that you mentioned, and I think we're going to see it turn around when he's healthy, hopefully.
All right, well, I hope you're right, because like you said, Zion's my guy. I'm counting on you. I'm rooting for you. So I'm going to need you to get this together. But that's all I got for Need to Know News. Let's get into this Monday Post Up.
Yeah, it is a Monday Post Up with your boy Chris. And I see, Zen, I hear you, bro. Trust me, in any other situation, I agree with you. So how much is dude getting paid, though? Like I just used the example of Kevin Durant. How much was he getting paid? And they would ask him to get to the gym because he's getting thrown on like a rag doll. I mean, it worked out for him in the long run. Let's see how it goes for Zion Williamson. I hear you, Zen. I do. But let's jump into Post-Up today because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot. And we're going to start off with Jackie's boy, LeBron James, or LeBron James 2. I don't know which one's the real LeBron James at this point because we saw two of them during yesterday or the night before his game or yesterday. I can't remember what it was. But LeBron James was there twice, all right? This dude said LeBron is so good he is playing and watching the game at the same time. Now, I thought this was hilarious, but then at the same time, the Twitter responses made this even better, and this one was my absolute favorite response. This Benjo saying, every 5 years, a 28-year-old LeBron is born and murders the last one. This right here explains why LeBron has been so good for so long and is still able to jump through the roof. Because, and then there was I didn't put the response, but there was a response saying, and each time he comes back, he loses a little bit of hair. I was like, damn, I'm so upset I didn't add that one to it, but I was like, okay. So right now we're watching another 28-year-old LeBron James, and I guess this is probably LeBron from about, just 2 or 3 LeBrons ago that decided to sneak into the game and watch the current LeBron James go. But Jackie, this meme right here, seeing, LeBron and then LeBron 2 in the back, how did you feel about that? I thought it was hilarious because I saw that and I thought the exact same thing, and then Twitter ran away with it.
I saw that and I thought it was like some play on Halloween because they look exactly alike. It's the exact same. They look exactly alike. But if it's not, I'm going to find that lookalike.
I knew that's where that was going. Yeah, that might have been his costume. His costume might have been sideline LeBron, because if that was it, then he 10 out of 10. I just got to see if he was wearing LeBron's shoes, because that's the only thing I'd be missing. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, that tweet, every a 28-year-old LeBron comes and kills off the last one. I thought that was perfect. That was really well done. Anyways, so from LeBron James, we go over to the Thunder's rookie Josh Giddey. I just want to say this. I've been calling Josh GIDDEY for the longest time, and I don't know if that makes me bad because he's Australian. So I thought it was just so perfect if his name was Josh Giddey. Like, he'd be like, "G'day, mate," as Josh Giddey. Like, but it's Josh Giddey. So sorry, Josh. I've been calling you Josh Giddey for the longest time. Josh Giddey. He's been having a good start to his season for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And it looks like it might have been getting noticed because after his game in a loss to the Golden State Warriors, he was out there spending some game. He was there talking to, at first I was like, okay, the internet's blowing this up because I thought it was family, but I didn't see anything telling me that this was family or not. And my man stayed out there for, I guess, 15 minutes post game, taking pictures, talking to him. Josh Giddey was out there, you know, as the caption saying, he was putting in some extra work. I ain't mad at you. Go ahead. He walked over and said, "Good eye, Mike," and he was doing his thing. But the responses on Twitter were top notch. This first one right here, yeah, he was just there talking. We don't know what he's saying. This one's saying they're gonna go to the bar and Giddey gonna order an orange juice because he's like 19 years old. Yeah. So yeah, he gonna take him to the bar and then what? Get an orange juice. And this one right here caught this man in 4K. But my favorite one was this one right here. It's Quagmire. Get it. Internet, man.
I love
Twitter.
it.
Yeah, that was good. But yeah, man.
And one of the tweets that I saw was like, damn, okay, that's true. Because I feel like one of the girl that he took a picture with probably has heels on. So that means she has to be just flat-footed, like at least 6'2", because he's 6'8".
You're talking about how tall they are. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, he's 6'8". And she was just like, let me just stand, you know, almost shoulder. I was like, all right, she tall. Because there ain't no heels that tall. And not walking properly. And those heels that you got to walk really
not walking properly.
Walking properly.
Right. Go ahead. Yeah, my man. I was waiting for someone to say Levi saying playmaking on and off the court. Go ahead, Josh Giddey. Right? I still wish it was pronounced G'day. It just would be so perfect. Like the branding. Branding.
I mean, look, just commit to it. I mean, Charles Barkley, Kendrick, they pride themselves on sticking to whatever name.
Yeah. I called this man G'day for the longest time because it just made too much sense. But yeah, it's Giddey. So maybe you're right. Maybe I should just act ignorant, act like I never heard the correct pronunciation. You're right. He's Josh G'day from now on. You're right. I'm not changing it. I'm committed to it. All right, Josh G'day. Good eye, Mike. All right, so yeah, that was good for him. But now we have a weird situation. I saw this at the end of last week where it was starting to go around that, you know, the Washington Wizards lost a player, like they can't find him, literally, and it was Rui Hachimura. I guess he had taken some personal time off, but people within the organization and teammates and stuff like that, they don't know where he is. It's one thing to take personal time off and then, you know, still practice and stuff like that, but they haven't heard or there has been no contact with Rui Hachimura. If you guys do not remember, Rui, he is from the draft two seasons ago, the same draft as RJ. And yeah, so this tweet came out from a representative from Twitter, or sorry, a beat writer from Washington, saying Rui Hachimura, personal reasons, is still missing from Wizards practice. The quote says, "We haven't seen him at all. Maybe he does individual workouts at night. I'm not sure. We have no idea what's going on with them." Now this has a lot of Wizards of old written all over it, where it's just a lot of just confusion and lack of continuity and no what's the word I'm looking for? Communication amongst one another. But the Wizards right now are tied with my Knicks as 5-1. I don't know if that's going to last, but they're playing solid basketball right now. But something like this, I don't know what to take of it. I'm not going to go too negative on it, but it is kind of odd that they have no idea where he's at. Jackie, have you been seeing the reports about this? And it's been really under the radar. Like, it's not anything like big. Like, this is the first big tweet that came out about it, but it's kind of odd.
I saw this morning, and to be honest, I didn't know, and I have to feel like what Kevin Lang in the chat said. He said, "Sad if you're missing and nobody's missing you." But I think it's like what you said. They're tied with the Knicks right now. They're playing fairly well.
Yeah.
But it's the personal reasons that bothers me. Like, what is going on with him? Is no one reaching out to him? Is it something
That's
bad?
What I'm saying. That part. Yeah.
Like, what's going on? I feel like somebody should know, and they should want to know, because if he needs like emotional support, y'all should be there for that man. So I would just really like them to find out what's going on. But then again, like you said, sometimes people do things differently. If he is going through something tragic, maybe he closes off. Maybe that's his defense mechanism. But still, I would really want to know what these reasons are, because that's just a little odd to me.
Yeah, the reaching out part is the part for me. Like, he ain't got no homies on the team. Like, Rui is a good team player. Like, he's a good personality. I see someone in the chat saying he's a bust. He's not a bust. He had injuries, but he was playing well to close out the season before he got injured again. He's a good piece. So I was just curious. Like, there's no one that, you know, is close to him. Maybe that's the other thing too, because this is so under the radar and it's not being picked up and talked about more. So maybe the teammates might know, but they're just keeping that personal within each other. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, it's just a weird situation. But I hope everything's okay. I hope it's not a serious situation, something else that we don't want to talk about. I hope it's just a fact that maybe he's just I don't know, they're keeping it to themselves. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of sad. But hopefully everything is good, and we'll hear about this. We'll get a good update soon enough when it comes to this. So Shaq came out and he was talking about his financials. He's been doing a lot of circuits and talks and conversations about his his wealth and why he takes so many jobs and this, that, and the third. And he was talking about one of his lessons that he is trying to instill in his kids, and Shakira and SHAREEF. Actually, he's the bajillion because I forgot he has daughters and he has a lot of kids. But one of the things he tries to instill in them is that I'm calling cap on it, but he says, if I get the tweet up, he says, my kids are older now. They kind of upset with me. I tell them all the time, we ain't rich. I'm rich. I don't disagree with it, but I don't believe it as well. But SHAREEF, as you see there on the left with his little smile, he's responded to this tweet with sleep emojis looking down at it like this, while you see he's chained up and got a nice bling on his wrist. I can't tell what car he in, but it looked like it's a fancy car. If it got a seatbelt coming from the roof, I ain't know no car that got seatbelts on the roof like that. So yeah, seeing this SHAREEF response, do you see this as him co-signing the message, like, or do you think that he thinks that he's I don't know, what do you take it from SHAREEF with his response? Because I'm having a hard time figuring it out. Like, is he agreeing? Is it true? Like, I don't know what to take from the response from SHAREEF. I'm gonna be completely real.
So there's one or two ways this could be. Shaq jokes around a lot. I'm gonna have to assume that this is one of those joking things. But there was a part of me that when I saw that picture, my first reaction was, okay, I'm looking at your wrist. That watch alone is worth what a lot of people making in a year. So obviously you ain't earned it. So you got that from daddy's money. But then I thought about it. I'm like, what if Shaq at this point was like, all right, enough. I'm cutting y'all off. Y'all got to figure out how to earn your own money. You can't just rely on my money forever. You know what I mean? So maybe, and I applaud parents that do that, especially that when they're rich like that, to just,
for sure,
obviously you're going to always be there for your kid, but you don't want them to think that they can just walk around this earth and just depend on you. They have to find their own way. So maybe he has reached that point with them where he was like, okay, y'all been coddled a little too long. This is my money. You need to go out and figure out how to make your money. Like Will Smith. Will says everybody in his house work, and you see it. Everybody in that house works.
Yes.
And that's what you need, and that's what you want to instill in your kids. So it might be a little late, but maybe Shaq is finally jumping on that train.
Yeah. So I like that point. I didn't even think about that. Maybe it was a new installment, like, because SHAREEF, there was a lot of hope and belief in SHAREEF's basketball career, and it kind of stalled a little bit. We understand he had the surgery and whatnot, but he was back and forth with how good he's been, and it could be because maybe lack of drive. Who knows what it could be? So maybe that was the point that Shaq was making. Like, look, if you want to continue to live like this, go do it yourself. You're right there at the cusp of getting it, and this is how I'm going to do it. So yeah, that could be a very good point. Maybe this is a more recent thing, and that's why SHAREEF is responding to it. So I don't know. I think that makes no sense of anything.
Kai said he elaborated on it and said business-wise, they would have to have a plan before he invests or just give them money. Yeah, so it's kind of along the lines of what I said. Like, I'm just not going to...
I respect that. Yeah, you ain't just going to give it to you because you're my kid. Right. I respect that. But I think it should be more than that, too, because you can have an idea that's great, but then how are you going to execute it? Because sometimes kids, they'll do it, they'll start it, and then they don't continue it because, why? No, this is work. I don't want to work. Anyways, there's that. Gary Turbo, do not bring Zaire and Dwayne Wade into this. Zaire has not been able to play yet. We'll talk about that after he plays. If he doesn't play well, then we can have that conversation. But look, let him go earn his spot. All right. Anyways, moving off to SHAREEF to James Harden. Now, this was funny because I know the caption's gonna say one thing, but I read this as something else because you see, they say, it says James Harden, his favorite word. I saw this as James Harden getting worried because he thought there was going to be another story about him in the club. So basically, he heard the magic word, the club word, and shout out to the reporter because he knew exactly what he was doing by wording this question the way he worded it. But to me, I saw fear in James Harden's face because he said, Kevin Durant's in the club, James Harden in the club, and he's like, Hold on, what we doing in the club? I don't remember it. Was it you talking about last night? Look, I can explain what happened last night, but look, I'll let you guys interpret. Oh, my brain is not working tonight. Interpret what you guys see in James Harden's reaction when he heard the magic word club. Here's the video.
You're in the club. Kevin's in the club. How cool is it after all he's been through to see LaMarcus Aldridge score 20,000?
See, I saw fear, bro. I saw fear. I saw fear because the way he's listening. Hold on now, club. Wait, what club? Oh, yeah, that thing. Oh, whoo, Kevin, I thought he got us, bro. He just talking about basketball though. He just talking about basketball. We good. LaMarcus, yeah, man. He thought he almost got you. Yeah, it's good. It's nice. You know, it's really good. Since you're talking about that club, yeah, it's good. But I saw fear. I don't know what you saw when you heard him talk about that. I thought like he was worried that they were gonna talk about something that they did yesterday or whatever. But what would you take from that?
I saw the same thing. I saw him like searching his memory banks, like, what the hell?
Yeah, you can see it computing like, oh,
right.
And he's like, which club? What night? What time?
What?
Yeah,
was there?
Right.
Cameras. Was there cameras? I don't remember seeing cameras. We specifically said no cameras. Like I saw all that going on in his head.
His life flash was like, yeah, all right. I just wanted to make sure because I saw this and I'm like, nah, what? God, no, that he looks scared. But anyways, all right. But yeah, James Harden, funny moment. Now this one too, like I initially laughed at this, but then I got worried because I didn't know the extent of it. And we're talking about my man Jameis Winston and the video that came out after the W, which is this one right here. Mark Ingram, so glad he's back. He has been one of my favorite Saints for his entire career. Even when he was going on other teams, I was always checking on Mark Ingram's stats. Love him. So glad he's back. Instant impact coming back into the game. But yeah, so he's back doing this thing. But if you pay attention to the background, you will see a freshly injured Jameis Winston going crazy on his good leg. I'll give him respect. He's on his good leg, but crutches in the air, kicking the bad leg up in the air. I look, man, like I get it. Jameis is a fun guy. He's trying to be there with his teammates, and he's funny. And knowing myself, I probably do some of the same foolishness, but I'm not getting paid millions of dollars to play football. So this kind of had me a little worried. I enjoyed it because I was just as happy as they were, but I was also feeling the type of way seeing Jameis out there. Jackie, you are my fellow Saints fan. I need to know your emotions seeing this one because we don't know the length of the injury. Sean Payton came out and said that it is significant, meaning that it could be a season-ending injury. We do not know yet. But he out there celebrating like that, like, yo, those drugs that he was on must have been great for him to be out there dancing without feeling any kind of pain. But, yeah, what was your thoughts on that? I need to know.
My first initial thoughts was, what the hell are you doing? You better go sit down somewhere. That was my first initial thought.
Yeah.
I had to remember that during the game, I didn't see it, but I heard who was commentating our game? Was it Tony Troy? Well, one of them said,
yeah.
Who was it?
Did we have Aikman?
I think we had Aikman. Did we have Aikman?
I think we did. I'm pretty sure we did. Look, man, I was so into the game. I'm pretty sure we had Aikman in that game, though. I'm pretty sure. And then some other guy wasn't it?
He had said that he was walking around in the tunnels. Now, when they flashed to the tunnels, he wasn't there. So I was like, Troy lying. But he said he was walking around. So there's some pain there, but it wasn't like apparently as bad. But then, obviously when they do the MRI and stuff. But then I thought about it and I thought how much they went up to. He tried to walk off the field because he just didn't want to give them that moment and he wasn't able to make it. And then the guys went up to him and said, okay, we're going to win this for you. And then they got in the locker room and they like, we did it. And, you beat Tampa Time. And then we got a pick 6 and then we sacked him. And like the energy was high and he literally loves being a Saint. So I was like, I'm going to allow this and I'm going to make it, because this is when I promise you when Trevor came in, I was like, oh, that's a wrap. We done. So the fact that
I'm like, and you should know because he was on the Broncos, so you knew a lot more about Trevor than the rest of us, right? So I was just like, oh no, and he played. I gotta give him some credit. He played pretty good. He played pretty good.
But I mean, I still wasn't. And to answer, somebody asked, "Where's Taysom?" Taysom he was in concussion protocol. He won't be back until next week, maybe. I hope they don't rush him back from that. Word on the street is though. A call might be going out to Cam Newton. I don't know.
I'm okay with it now. I wasn't okay with it before because I didn't want Jameis competing with nobody besides Jameis Winston. But now Yeah, look, I love you, Taysom Hill, but like I said, I need you to stay in your role as a Swiss Army knife. I want a quarterback there while you do everything else. That's all. I look, I'm fine with the Cam Newton call. I just don't know how you fit in the office, but I'm fine with the Cam Newton call. But yeah, see, it's funny. So I had my opinion, my thoughts were flipped. My initial was like, yeah, okay, JAMEIS isn't hurt. Let's go. We party. And then after I watched it a few times, I was like, hold on, though, wait. I'm a little worried though, JAMEIS. Like, hold on. So initially, I was like partnering with them. I was like happy about it, but yeah, okay. All right, well, I'm gonna keep my eyes open on that Cam Newton news. I'm gonna keep my eyes open. On that. And then Kevin Lang
asking if Drew was gonna come back, and I'm like, first of all, his arm was like that was it. No, his arm was spent. Come on, let's be honest about it. That arm was not.
No, 100%. But I mean, we on week what? We on week 7, week 8. Yeah, that's enough time. Drew Brees, come on back. Use the rest of that arm for the last. Look, Tom Brady passing all your records. Come back, bro. Come back. Half a season. No, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, his arm is gone, and he's doing a good job announcing. So say what you want. And Kevin Lane, real quick, he did not want the number 14. And also CD or what's his name? CJ Gardner Johnson. He offered to give him back 22, but they played so many games, so he couldn't take 22. So he was stuck with game 14. But possibly next year, because we did re-sign him, he might get 22 back. So right now he's 14. That's a quick answer on that. Yeah. So let's move on to from a functioning and happy and well-oiled franchise with a fan base that loves them win or lose to a team where their fans are giving them hell, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs. And I get it. You know, the Kansas City Chiefs, who every year you expect them to be number one in the AFC, hell, number one in the NFL, they're having a rough start to the season to the point where fans are going in. I call it Lakers syndrome because Lakers fans are always expecting to be winning even when they're not good. The Lakers are supposed to be good. That's just how Laker fans are. You know, they're spoiled like that. When you have that many championships, that's just what comes with being a Laker fan. So I feel like Kansas City fans got a little taste of that. Since the Patrick Mahomes era began, they believe that they're supposed to be good every year. And Anthony Hitchens is sick of it. He came in with this saying, all we did was go to 3 AFC championship games and 2 Super Bowls and 1 Super Bowl win in my first 3 years here so far. Y'all fans will never be satisfied. It's sad. And then Be Real saying facts, and none other than Mr. Tyrann Mathieu also joining in saying big facts. This might be one of the most toxic fan bases in all of sports because fans have been going in and they've been very upset and rada. And yeah, it's been a nightmare, not only just on the field for the team, but definitely off the field for them. And the fans are not making it easy on them. I say this, suck it up. You'll be all right. Go and win, and then maybe things will be different. I'm a Knicks fan, and the Knicks have been bad for a long time. We always expect them to win, and they still play basketball. So, look, y'all be all right. Suck it up. You'll be fine. There's still a lot of season left. We'll see what happens in Kansas City. But from that, I want to end off with this funny moment because I'm so glad that this is getting picked up because, once again, one of my favorite things to watch every Wednesday is the NFL the sounds in the NFL because, like, every player is mic'd up and da-da-da. And they normally on YouTube, the NFL YouTube channel puts up a like 25-minute video of all of the sounds from all the games, and I enjoy it. It's just fun to hear the commentary and stuff like that. But last week, one of the weirdest moments was Leonard Fournette because I'm there watching him and I'm hearing a tackle and then I'm hearing a laugh because I was doing something else and I'm like, why is someone giggling every time he's tackling? I'm looking up and I thought it was initially someone tackling someone else. No, it was Leonard Fournette getting tackled and he was giggling in the moment. I'm like, what in the Joker brain is this? Like, why are you laughing while getting tackled? So, for reference, let me show you the video so you guys can see what the hell I'm talking about if you guys have not already seen this. Look at this. Makes me laugh. I was like, yo, he's insane. He's absolutely insane. And my favorite was the responses from his own teammate, Levante David. He said something really wrong with Buddy, and Tom Brady with laughing emojis, and even LeBron James jumping in with a bunch of laughing emojis on this one too. Yeah, Leonard Fournette's been playing out of his mind this year. He's been looking like college Leonard Fournette. But yeah, this is wild, Jackie. What you think about this?
When I saw this, I was like, finally. I'm surprised we haven't seen this before, because I've always said you got to be a level of crazy to just go out there and take those kinds of hits or issue those kinds of hits. And it's a game, so you gotta, if you don't enjoy it and if it's not funny. So when I saw this, I was like, freaking finally. I knew someone's had to be out there. Like, somebody had to be out there laughing and enjoying this. Thank you, Leonard. Thank you. Now I'm not so mad about you changing your number to that quarterback number. I'm okay now, because I was like, yes.
You still mad about that? He was the only one I was okay with. He was the only one I was all right with. Just because I remember him wearing 7 at LSU. That's the only reason why I was like, all right, you're fine. But I get it. You're still not a fan of number 2. I get it. I'm
watching 3 games at the same time. I don't need to be like, what the hell? I need to just know. But now I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Now I'm okay.
Okay. All right. And I know Mark Ingram wearing 14 did not help that situation at all, but I got you.
But you know what? That's that double standard, right? I'm like, Mark can wear whatever the hell he want to wear.
He can wear what he want, right? Yeah.
He want to wear a different number every game. I'm okay with that. So
Story has it he was gonna call Archie Manning to see if he can rock number 8 in honor of him. But he didn't do it, and he's wearing 14. Anyways, that's enough of me. Because I hear you, but I don't know if I'd be giggling getting hit. But that's something I might not do. But Jackie Ray on this Find Money, can you tell us what we not gonna do?
Yes, you guys. I want everybody to sit down, get comfortable, get ready to scratch your head, because this one is it's completely crazy. I don't even know how to put this into words. So, where do I even begin with this? So, this is when I think about having kids and putting them into team sports. That's something that I've always been worried about, because I've always, especially if they're girls, but just the level of men taking advantage in positions of authority. That's always been something that I know I'm going to worry about. I'm going to be one of those always present. I'm going to be like, hey, here I am. What y'all doing? Like, I'm just going to pop up like that, because I just know how that goes. Now, and I think that now, especially, we live in a time where we know everybody's recording everything, that it's a little bit safer, because now you know you're probably going to get caught. But here's the thing. Not only is this high school not worried about getting caught, they feel like this is tradition. So I want you to take a look at these 3 pictures. Now, all of their faces have been blurred out because, you know, child pornography is illegal in all 50 states. And technically, this would be child pornography. So these are young boys dressed as girls giving high school administrators lap dances. Okay? Can we run those 3 pictures back again so y'all can understand? These are young men in front of the school. This isn't like something that's happening behind closed doors. This is called their man pageant. It happens for homecoming. This is a tradition that's happening year after year after year. It's not new. It's something that's been happening. It's crazy to me. So just to give you some reference, there's only 4,900 people in this town. Now, I'm looking at this mortified. It makes my stomach hurt. The fact that there's kids in the stadium watching this, like, it just mortifies me. With that in mind, I want y'all to take a look at this headline. Okay, I want you to take a look at how the town reacted to this coming to, well, let me let you know this about the school first. And I'm so glad, because I did some research and I found out that this statement is actually true. This school specifically has some of the strictest dress codes when it comes to women. And one of the reasons why is because they feel like the girls' bodies will sexually entice young boys. So this guy is absolutely right when he says, this is what Hazard High School in Kentucky does with teenage boys. They dress them up like drag queens and have them grind on the administrative staff. This same school has an absurdly strict dress code on girls, so much that girls get sent home for wearing leggings. This is actually true. I looked it up. This is 100% true, because they feel like girls' bodies entice boys. However, they're putting boys in drag and making them dance on male administrators. There's something fundamentally wrong here. But like I said, 4,900 people in this town. This went viral, as you would imagine. The town did not react in a way that you think. So this is the chant from people in that town. It says, an attack on tradition. Annoyed locals rally around Kentucky school after lap dance photos go viral. Now, here's an interesting point about that. Let me find this man's name. The principal is one of the people that's being grinded on. And his name is Donald Happy Moblini or whatever, right? So They had signs up and they were chanting, "We love you, happy, we love you, happy." They interviewed a student at this rally, and he goes, he says, "People who were not even connected to the school went after us." And he's a sophomore. He says, "I think it's an attack on tradition." His mother, who was there with him at this rally, said the same thing. She's like, "It's our school, it's our tradition, leave us alone." 90% of this town, I just want you to understand the lack of common sense here. 90% of this town voted for Donald Trump and still believe that he actually won the election. So this is the part where it becomes very convoluted to me. How do you think that's right, but be okay with your, because again, this kid that said this was one of the kids that actually was dressed up in the drag, and his mother was there with him and said it was okay. I didn't see anything about his father being there. I would be curious to hear what dad had to say about this, but mom thinks it's okay for her teenage boy to dress as a girl and give a lap dance to a grown man. What I can't do is make this make sense. I got nothing else. I don't know what else to do. Like, if you don't want to protect your child from pedophiles and predators, if you don't see how this is a tradition that they probably look forward to, the smiles on those men's faces is not normal for a young boy to be giving them a lap dance. That is not normal. You should, as a grown man, you should not want a child. You shouldn't even want to participate in that, because you should be mortified. And the smiles and the fact that they're okay feeding into a pedophile tradition is mind-boggling to me. I don't, but like I said, you can't save everybody, and I don't think you can save this town, Chris. I got nothing.
Yeah,
your whole face.
The only thing, what you said at the end is what grossed me out the most was their faces during it. Like, I couldn't, when you ran them back, I couldn't look back up at the pictures because that's too far. And that's the problem, because this is a small town, right?
4,900 people. Yep.
Yeah. See, and that's the problem right there, because that they feel like they're remote. They're always about their tradition, regardless of what the tradition may be. And it's sad, but God, yeah, I don't know how I could be a parent and being okay with my son. Like, I don't know. I got a lot of thoughts on that, but I don't even want to talk about it anymore, because that's gross. And there's like a whole crowd of people watching this in the back, right? I don't.
Faculty, staff, all of that was watching this with no problem. And to their point, though, they are right. This has been a long-standing tradition, and we're just now finding out better. I know. I got nothing else.
In the age of social media, where we understand where it's okay to speak up on something, like somebody, I know one of those kids does not think that that's right. They probably don't feel like they can speak out about it because they're gonna get probably a lot of hate. But in this age of social media, where you can be that difference, you can make that, speak your mind and be that voice. Somebody's got to say something. I guarantee you, not every one of those kids believes that this is right. And shoot, for the kids, I'm sure some of the faculty, I'm guaranteed there's probably some faculty that could not show up to that because they don't believe in it. But I don't know. But small towns are different, man. This is an example of that.
So let's close out the show. But first, our worst. We had this rumor at the end of the game, our Saints game, that he might have torn his ACL. It has been confirmed that JAMEIS did tear his ACL.
No.
Yes. So take that in. Which again, now we have to circle back. That means he's out for at least a season.
It's
JAMEIS' career
change.
And some change.
Because we're halfway through the season. Sorry.
Up and down. I'm a little concerned. How long did he re-sign for us for? Do you remember off the top of your head?
I think he just re-upped for this year.
For this year. See, and this is why I was hoping that's not what it was, because his career has been so up and down, and I just don't want this to affect his possibility to return. It's just a year, huh?
Just 1 year, 12 mil. Yeah, he got more money, but it was for one more year. It was it was supposed to be not a tryout contract, but to see if Sean Payton and Jameis Winston really would be the combination for the long term. And I feel like Sean was just, especially in this game, because he was getting more. Jameis Winston was getting more confident in rushing. You could see the confidence each week with Jameis Winston, and I feel like Sean Payton was finally having some more confidence in Jameis Winston. So I really believe that this is going to turn into an extension, and we had our quarterback going forward, and he was only going to get a lot more. I don't know what this means for him now. Maybe they give him a courtesy contract next year to come back and, like we did with like Teddy Bridgewater, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm worried right now.
That's rough.
I saw who is it? Gary Turbo in the chat says they got Taysom. I have zero confidence in Taysom as a quarterback.
Same.
I like how we
Same.
him this in and out situation. That works. Warriors fan Trevor Simeon season again, being from Denver, that ain't it either. So the only thing I can think of right now is y'all gotta call Cam. I don't know what else to say. But
it wasn't last week the trade deadline.
November 2nd.
Oh, so there's still
tomorrow.
Okay, we'll see what. We'll see what happens. Yeah, today's the first. Yeah, you might be right. I thought it was last week. I don't know.
Oh man, I could be wrong, but I think it's tomorrow. You guys in the chat, I thought November 2nd was the trade deadline. Am I making that up in my head? Y'all ain't moving fast enough. So yeah, on that very sad note, we are going to end the show. Chris and I have some morning to do. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Jameis, I'm still rooting for you regardless, though, buddy. Get well. Take as best care of yourself as you can. And if you please, Sean Payton, don't just cut him off because of this. Cam Newton actually got vaccinated because he wants to play, so now there should be no more issue. And yes, Warriors fan, I saw that Von Miller is going to the Rams, and that is huge as well. So we'll probably talk about that
good for him
tomorrow.
Go to a winning team, bro.
Yeah, good for you. I'm excited for you. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. Make sure you enjoy the rest of your day. We will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You guys be safe.